Show. It's always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or you can just search for it online at all the popular podcast sites, iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Every week, your real estate voice covers great information about the housing market and one of your largest assets, that is your home. Barb, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, I'm very excited because I think I figured it out, to be honest with you. I figured it out what is going on with this market, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So, the very first topic is going to be, when will the housing market crash again? I think you'll be very surprised at the answer. And then we're going to talk about the top trends that show real estate is a great investment. We're also going to talk about how to receive the highest price when you sell your home. And last but not least, how to pick a great real estate agent when you sell your home. And I always love talking about my hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, all the reports are indicating that the Fed continues to raise interest rates, yet we haven't seen any substantial decrease in home prices. So, where do you think this housing market is headed right now?
Well, it's interesting because the Fed raising the rates like they did actually did create some demand destruction. It's all about affordability. So buyers typically are getting a loan, and they typically will purchase a home based on what the payment is. And as of this morning, a 30-year fixed interest rate is 7.51%. Now, most of the people in the buyer population right now are either Gen X, millennials, even Gen Z are buying homes. They represent more than 40% of the buyers. But you know what? They have never seen interest rates above 5.5% in their lifetimes. So for them, this is a disaster. And they're thinking, okay, the rates are going to come down, but maybe not, maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's going to happen. And when I first started in the industry back in the 90s, when I started, the rates were probably in the nines somewhere. Within 2 years, the rates dropped down to 7. And I remember my broker doing backflips and going, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. We haven't seen these rates since the 50s. So, we're kind of back to normal. And what caused all those low rates was the government basically buying back bonds in order to protect the rates from going higher. So as the rates are really, really high, the buyers are finding right now, after we've had more than a year of high interest rates, that waiting to buy a home is actually a huge mistake, because surprise, the prices aren't going down and the rates aren't going down, and homes are getting more expensive, not less. According to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, one of those, I think it's Freddie Mac, it shows a graph of how high the prices went. A little bit of dip when they raised rates, but back up again. Oh boy. And here's another problem that's really affecting the market right now, is that, home builders are fiercely competing in this market, and they have figured it out. They're gobbling up market share. And the way they're doing that is they're keeping the median price of their home pretty close to what an existing or used, tired, and dated home would sell for similar size right now. So what does that mean? Buyers have a choice. They can get a brand new, fresh, gorgeous home where they don't have to update anything, or they can buy an old, tired, dated home that's used and needs a little bit of work. So even though they might be giving up a great lot, a lot of these buyers, a huge percentage of the buyers, are opting to go for new construction. Even the great investor Warren Buffett is investing in 3 major publicly traded new home builders at the peak of their stock prices. So usually Warren Buffett buys when it's on sale, but in this case, the prices of these stocks are as high as they've ever been. And then with the other thing that they're doing is they're lowering interest rates to purchase their new homes, which makes it more affordable for the buyer. Here's one other problem that we have in this market is a massive amount, probably close to 85% of the current homeowners are sitting on very low interest rates below probably 4%. It's a majority of them, right? And in order to improve their lifestyle and perhaps take the option of moving to a bigger home or a smaller home or something, they have to trade that 3 to 4% interest rate mortgage to a 7.5% interest rate mortgage. And that is affecting the inventory. It's keeping the inventory crazy down. On top of that, builders are offering a very, very low interest rate. I don't know how they do it, but basically they have the economies of scale. So they can go out and say, hey, Mr. Lender, for our preferred lenders, we can offer rates in the 5s I don't know how the deal is actually structured, but they'll do that for their current inventory and get more buyers in the door. And buyers are jumping at it because they're having a lower payment than what you would normally see. And what has been the result? The result has been new construction builders have grabbed 33% of the market share. It's a huge increase from where we were pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, typically, new homes were more expensive and smaller than existing homes, but that's not the case anymore. And as a result of what the builders did, they had a 20% increase in their sales from 14% to 33% of market share. Isn't that surprising, Richard?
That is absolutely. And yet, if I didn't talk to you, I wouldn't have any idea about this. That's why this program, I think, is so important to the average person, whether they're thinking of buying or selling, or certainly they know someone or work with somebody in their family.
Yeah, I've got a couple of new construction homes under contract right now. I mean, there's just something unbelievably appealing about picking your own colors, your own floor plan, knowing everything is fresh and new and under warranty. And another, just to pile on to more of the problems, current inventory is 10% below what it was a year ago. And the population growth of the US is up by 22%. So that just means less and less inventory for the next home buyer. And a lot of these bloggers are predicting that this tight inventory of available homes is going to continue across the next decade. So that's just a basic supply and demand lesson, right? If you have low supply, high demand, the only result is going to be driving prices up. So it's really good for all potential home sellers. And for the buyers, what I have to say to you is don't wait. If you can afford it right now, find a way to make it happen. Even if you can negotiate to get your interest rate down a little bit, that is worth your while. And there are some buyers sitting on the sideline, just waiting around for interest rates to get lower or for prices to get lower, even a small amount. But it's just not happening. I've been watching the stats every single month, and I'm like, okay, it's supposed to go down now, but it's not. Let me give you an example. We put a home on the market last week, and we intentionally priced this home low because it's very cosmetically challenged. It needs a complete remodel. So the seller agreed to price it. You know, if it was fixed up, the home would be selling for about $350. So we priced it at $250. We got 10 offers before the first showing. We had 2 1-hour open houses, and each one of those open houses, we had over 35 people show up, and it sold. The highest offer was more than $30,000 over asking price, but the seller took the cash close quick deal, which was just slightly lower, not very much. Now, why is that happening? First of all, there's a lot of people that like to remodel homes, right? They have the skills and the resources to do it. There are even some people that can buy it and occupy it and do their own work on the home. So that tells me that we still have a low inventory problem, but it's all about pricing the home correctly. And, you know, market prices probably are going to keep going up for a while. And just to put it in perspective, Richard, if we saw 161% rise in inventory, it would take over 2 years just to see the same inventory levels that we saw back in 2018.
Wow.
So it's just, the prices are going to go up. They may not go up, you know, straight up like what we saw in 2021, but it's going to be, you know, a strong market for sellers right now, but there are keys to getting that right. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team, also the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about interest rates and how that's going to affect the market. And what we're going to talk about next is what some home sellers should expect and how they can prepare for this new market condition. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900. We have over 27,511 buyers in waiting on our website, and we'd love to help you, or call us at or go to barbhasthebuyers.com or call us at 719-301-3900. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the Fed's recent increase on the Fed borrowing rate, whether or not it has had an effect on the housing market. So what should home sellers expect? But more importantly, what should they be doing in a market like this?
Well, Richard, first of all, there are different options when selling your home. You could implement the same plan as what builders do. Well, what are builders doing? They're updating their home. They're fresh and new, right? They're also offering seller concessions or interest rate buy downs to attract the buyer with a potential lower payment. The other option is to be pricing the home very realistically versus optimistically. So we recently did that with one of my listings where it's really in beautiful condition. Even though it was a 20-year-old home, it looked like it was practically brand new. So they kind of did both. They priced it uber realistically and they updated it and maintained it very, very well. And the result was we got way above asking price and market value, because the market's always going to gravitate to current market value given competition. So you could prepare your home to get the highest price. And believe me, pricing is a magic bullet. It's a science. And that's part of what we help our sellers do. We sit down, we talk with them and give them really good information so they can make a good decision. Don't worry about the season. We sell homes year round, and that's part of what we specialize in: preparation, pricing, and promotion. So if you are thinking of moving, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb, 719-301-3900, or go ahead and visit barbhasthebuyers.com. That's barbhasthebuyers.com. A short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the top trends that show real estate is a great investment. Stay tuned for that.